Hi there. So the title of this vlog is Counterattack. And here's why it's called Counterattack. Last time I vlogged, it was at the end of the second set of midterms. And I wasn't feeling so good about those midterms. Well, I don't know what's happened with those. It hasn't been apparently long enough to get the grades. If history has anything to say about it, those grades aren't coming for another week or so. So I am not holding my breath and I am not fretting about it. In the meantime, my child with autism goes through periods of mania. And that mania means he does not sleep. And sometimes he can manage that on his own, and sometimes he cannot, which means we all get sleep deprivation. So we have experienced that recently. And what that has shown me is the reserves that I utilized during those times are low. I was going to say gone, but I stopped myself. They are low. The well is running dry. It's very low resources. I'm not recovering. I'm not bouncing back from that time. And as I feel that low on my resources, I also am looking ahead and I see in my magic mirror of the near future that the next 3 weeks hold some intense medical appointments 3 hours away, lasting all day for one of my kids, 3 weeks in a row, which means I lose a day of work each week, which means I need to make up that day of work. So in making up that day of work, I lose a day of study. So this is not good. The blessing, here's the gratitude moment, because I always find those gratitude moments, is that my business is busy and I'm so grateful for it because it keeps my head straight. When I work, I get into a place of such gratitude. I love my clients. I just love them. So I love my work. I love what I'm doing with them. And it really puts my head on straight. So, and I will say when I'm working, I don't feel tired. No matter how tired I am, it's like the energy of the work that I do nourishes me and energizes me. So that's really good. I'm very grateful for that. So the rest of the time has to be filled with counterattack, and that must be self-forgiveness. That must be, for looking like this, self-forgiveness. That must be prioritizing. Counterattack is prioritizing. Living out of the laundry baskets even more than I was before. And the other, a big counterattack thing is taking my supplements and making sure that I eat as good as possible, that I stay high on my vegetables and high on my easy proteins, the digestible proteins that I feel are easy for me, and stay away from the carbohydrates and the spiky foods that give me the quick energy but that can crash me because I have no resources to pick up after a crash. So I need to keep clean in my diet, and I need to keep clean in my head. I get to these sleep-deprived places where I'm losing focus and I start to go into this self-doubt and this beating up. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? Are you nuts? Maybe you're doing the wrong program. Maybe you shouldn't even be doing this. I go into all these bad places chattering in my head, but in all honesty, it's just chatter. I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing when I'm supposed to be doing it, when I really sit quietly and center. And I just need to make sure I keep that in front of me, if that makes sense. And the other part of that, the mental counterattack is, okay, so I've accomplished 2/3 of this first trimester. I've finished the prerequisite course, but I've accomplished 2/3 of this trimester. And I've done it somewhat well. So, I know I have a third to go. I have 3 weeks of instruction, and then I have a week of review and then finals. So here's the head game, because it's all in the attitude, right? It's all in the head game. So here's the head game. I've done 2/3. I have 3 weeks left of instruction. I can get through it. It's just a third left. It's 3 weeks left, and then it's review. So I have taken in already the majority of the information I need to pass the class. So I just need to keep my head in the game and keep confident and keep working those numbers in my favor. I hope that makes sense, but at least it's making sense in my head. And like I said, it's a sleep deprived head. I may not even be speaking the right language right now, but I'm going to keep talking anyway because it's making sense in my head. So, when you get so tired, you're like, I'm so tired that at times I have waves of feeling sick and nauseous, and it'll pass. It will pass. So, the other part of the game is I got to make sure I get quality instead of quantity. I got to make sure that when I get sleep, it's quality sleep. I've just got to. I've got to make sure that it's like with the food. When I eat, I get quality foods, not quantity. When I have study time, I get quality focus because I'm not going to have a lot of quantity of focus time. So I've got to make the best of it that I can. And I know that I'm calling this counterattack, and I see this as a practice. I got 4 years of this. This is 1 trimester out of 4 years. I don't know how many, I think that's 12 trimesters I have to go through. If I did the math right, 3 times 4. Yes. So I'm going to hit a lot of walls like this, or a lot of walls are going to hit me. I'm not sure what's happening here, whether the wall hit me or I hit it, but I'm going to do this probably more than once. And it's a practice. Life is a practice. So I'm practicing my first counterattack philosophy. Maybe if I get good enough at this, I could even start preemptive attacks. Yeah. So we'll see how this goes. I'm practicing. Let's see how counterattack goes. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about. I'll let you know when I get my grades, but I am not holding my breath. And I'm not even sure. I'm sure I didn't fail, but I don't know. I like to be the best. I like to have those braggadocious moments I've talked about earlier. I like those. They feed my type A personality. But reality has it, those can't happen. Well, I guess they could happen all the time. I don't know. We'll see. It is what it is. As long as I'm doing the best I can do. Did you see the chatter just take over my head? I'm counterattacking it. As long as I'm doing the best that I can do, then that's good enough for me. That's great. So, thus is the life. I will let you know where it goes from here. But I wanted to be honest. I wanted to show the good times and the rough times. The not so pretty times. I am going to use as my inspiration the Bionic Woman and Wonder Woman. I see the Bionic Woman running with her hair flowing in the wind and the I need her strength right now. I need her bionic focus. And I'm going to put on my gold Wonder Woman headband and my armbands, and I'm going to take my lasso of truth and fly off in my invisible airplane, and I'm going to go kick butt. Right? So, the good, the bad, the ugly. I am on counterattack. Quality, not quantity. I may need to write these down on Post-its and post them around my house right now. But thus is the life. I'll catch you on the flip side.